Looks like a beautiful polyculture garden, except it's all pots. So we're moving right now, but this is basically our garden at this point. Normally this is all planted out throughout the yard and all the flower beds that I worked so hard on, but we're getting ready to move, so I wanted to have soil I could take with me, and plants we could continue to eat if we have to move into a rental or something. So, you know, just to make sure that we get organic produce with microbes in it. That's the whole reason we're doing this, is to have our daily or our weekly meal of a good salad that we know is organically grown and we know is full of beneficial microbes. And that's what this is, guys. So just sharing with you a little bit about what's going on here. Trying to stay healthy. Trying to do better today than I did yesterday in terms of treating myself and nature with a little more respect and awareness. Alright guys, this is Tom with Permaculture Wilmington, and this is how we can turn a potted garden into a polyculture garden as well. So as you see, this is green manure concept. We have all the pots have clover in them to protect the soil instead of using mulch. And they have the beneficial symbiotic relationships of nitrogen fixing plants from the clover. The clover has rhizobia on its roots, and it fixes nitrogen from the air, puts it on the nodules on the roots. The bacteria does for the plant, and then that every time the plant gets cut or periodically, it sends out 1%, just 1% of the nitrogen that it makes to the surrounding plants. But it's constantly putting exudates in the ground, and it's constantly feeding the environment, feeding the microbes. So this is just a real healthy system, guys. This is how we use more than one plant to create an environment that is sustainable for what we want to grow. So I can put pretty much anything I want to in these pots now, and it'll grow, because the microbes and the concentration of life in there is so functional at this point. It's just a system. It's like a working engine, a very strong working engine. But it's pumping out, man, for sure. So what you guys are seeing, by the way, this is solar energy. When I say it's pumping out, I gotta explain myself on some of these things, because what I mean by this is that this is basically a big solar panel. So the more foliage that we have, the more energy that we can harness from the sun, and the more energy that we can put into the soil. And that's the equation that we've been missing in the past, that is so obvious. But it's that we need biomass above, terrestrial biomass above the soil, as solar panels, basically, to put that biomass from that it creates from the sun using that solar energy into the soil. And that's what feeds the microbiology, guys. So the more foliage we have, the more healthy the soil. It's not the more foliage we have, the more water we have to put in the pots. Because if we deconstruct that and we put less plants in the pots because we want to do less effort and put less water in there, or we have retention problems because we don't know how, what soil is actually made of, and we're using something we bought from the store that's cellulose based, that came from a bog and dries out quickly, then we're going to have problems, But if we just harness the sun with beneficial consortiums of plants, which are basically guilds that help each other, then we can create situations in a pot, not even soil. We're in just a pot. It doesn't get any simpler than that, and then we can take our soil with us. But this is I think a good example of that, guys. So I hope you're with me. Hope you're loving it, because I am. This is love. You're seeing it. This is me loving soil, loving the microbes, loving the insects. This is symbiotic living. I don't want to kill anything. Everything that's here is beneficial. If there's something I don't know about, I don't freak out anymore. I don't go, oh my goodness, what is that harming? I don't. I go, holy cow, look at the insects, look at the bees. Look at the butterflies. Although that one that's a jerk butterfly, by the way. And that's the little white ones. Those are the caterpillars that get on our brassicas. The cabbage moth. The white butterflies in our garden, the little white ones, well, they're not the nicest, I must say, but they're food. They're good food for predators. So we get the predator insects in here, we get the system going, we get the engine running, and then boom, we just put a seed in the ground and we can expect things to grow and work out. It's a beautiful system. So hope you guys are doing well. This is Tom with Permaculture Wilmington.